Hello, everyone, and I'm Mark Tewksbury, proud to be the host, your host of In Your Corner. This is our final, well, I guess it's our closing ceremony. Let's not get too carried away here. It's our 10th episode of 10. I can hardly believe it that we're here. In Your Corner has been a weekly virtual series on LGBTQI2S inclusion in sport and the effects of COVID-19 on sports communities. And we've had such a great lineup of guests and important topics over the past 4 months. Head to egal/ca/in your corner to watch the video and to see past episodes. So usually I introduce myself before this point, but I've waited till this moment because this week is a little bit different. You might be seeing that I'm wearing this little lapel pin for the first time, and I have these funny initials behind my name, CC. So I was an Olympic swimmer. I've been involved in the Olympic movement and Special Olympic movements for a long time, and for those things and championing equity, inclusion, and human rights on and off the field, I was appointed a companion of the Order of Canada. I'm still getting used to saying that. It's the highest honor we can get, the highest civilian honor. It meant an enormous amount to me. And to start the show, I'd like to share, it was my partner, like lots of us know, we're not anything without the team behind us. And my partner, Rob Mabey, was such a huge part of this. And so this is what we did to say thank you for the honor. I've recently learned that I was appointed a companion of the Order of Canada, and I'm deeply humbled and grateful for such an honor. I received in the mail this beautiful lapel pin that I get to wear over my heart, and it has a red maple leaf on it. And I was reminded 30 years ago, inspired by great swimmers Alex Bauman and Victor Davis, I have a red maple leaf already tattooed over my heart. So it joins good company, as do I. I didn't realize that only 165 living Canadians are part of the companion, and it's such an honor. And to put the pin on for the first time, I've asked my partner in life, Rob Mabey, my companion, to do the honors.
All right, it's an honor. There you are.
There it is.
Companion.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Canada. It means the world to me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Mark, on this incredible achievement, being appointed as a companion to the Order of Canada. You are so deserving of this recognition. Throughout your career and throughout your life, you have been authentic, you've been true to yourself, and we get to say that you're gay. How cool is that? You are such a role model for all of our community, and I can't thank you enough for always being true to who you are. Thank you, Mark. Congratulations.
You guys, no more of that stuff. That was super nice, Helen. Thank you for that nice surprise greeting. I have to say that it's been a lovely few days. It happened on Friday, the announcement. And my favorite moment was I was interviewed, and an interviewer said to me, what would you say to your 18-year-old self? And I would say, who would have thought for that thing that I thought, if they knew who I was, they'd take it away from me because I was gay. But in the end, they gave it to me just for that reason. So you never know in life what's going to happen. So enough about me. Let's look back on this amazing season. There's been 10 episodes, and getting ready to do a bit of summary tonight, I'm so struck by the scope of issues that we were able to deal with. I remember the opening ceremonies. It was back in August. And funny enough, I was only signed up to do that first launch episode, but I had such a great experience. I decided to keep going with this show, and I'm so happy that I did. It's just been so enlightening. The next week, we saw Natalie Toman from Participaction and Tavia from CrossFit Canuck talking about some issues of how do we start to exercise as things were being shut down and sort of getting there. Am I cutting out still, or is it getting better? Sorry. LGBTQI2S human, so staying active. LGBTQI2S human rights regulations in sport was week 3, and that was a difficult show about Castor Semenya, having Carlos Sayo, the legal representative, and Allison Sandemeyer Graves. Incredible conversation from women in sport. Then we did mental health and wellness, and I remember Annie Guglia and Anastasia Busis, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that because from that episode, that idea of paying attention to how often people say the word crazy or insane in everyday conversation really struck with me. And I've noticed it ever since that episode. Week number 5 was so nice. I got to hang out with Eric Radford and just look back on the top 10 LGBTQI2S moments in sport. And I'd never actually hung out alone with Eric. So that was a very nice experience. And I got to do it live on here. Then we went to inclusion in international sport events, and that was a very important conversation with Mary Harvey. Next week was trans inclusion in sport. Again, fantastic insight from our 2 guests, Mason Coates and Shoshana Gauvin. Week number 8, we had two-spirit representation in physical health, and oh my gosh, we had the love story. I just love that week from our couple that won the amazing race that I call the amazing couple, Anthony and James. And week 9 last week was about coaching. And again, a really insightful week from David Thibodeau about there's been lots of out athletes since Sochi, or certainly there's been a bit of a tipping point, but we still have a long way to go for coaching. So I'm going to bring in the guests one by one. I'm going to start with Annie. And then we'll get to the next 2 because I think they might be having some connection issues. So I'm going to let them sign out first. So first, Annie Guglio was our guest back in week number 4, the mental health week. She's an Olympic hopeful for skateboarding, an amazing advocate for our community, and we're thrilled to have her back as part of the closing show and the closing ceremony. Annie, come on in.
Hi.
Hi. I'm going to introduce our other 2 guests, and we'll see if they're here, okay? If Anthony and James are here. We also have our winners from the amazing race from week number 8. Anthony, are you guys here? Anthony and James, come on to the show if you're here. They've been having some connection issues. Okay, we're going to start with you, Annie, while we get Anthony and James lined up. So we saw you way back, episode 4. You were just getting back from leaving the country and being in quarantine. And here we are all these months later. Outdoor parks aren't as available. You're still tracking for the Olympics, but haven't officially been named. Give us an update.
Well, since last time, I feel like we had more loose to be able to go to like outdoor skate parks, for example. Now with the snow in Montreal, I'm in Montreal, so like with the cold especially, it's hard to go outside, and we have a lot of restrictions in indoor skate parks. So it's kind of hard to keep training as normal, but like everyone's in that same state where like COVID impacts us differently. So I mean, for skateboarding, I think we're pretty lucky that in Montreal, we have Taz. It's an indoor skate park. It's close to the public, and I'm like the only one who has access right now. So it's like I have that luck. I don't know if it's luck, but I'm very grateful to have that place to train for the winter. And then our Olympic qualifiers are going to start again sometime in March, I think. So the whole winter, that's what I'll be doing.
That's amazing. I mean, it's a privileged position for sure, but you're getting ready to represent your sport for the first time in the Olympics. So I think we'd love for you to do as best you can. How are you holding up with the delay and with, just sort of mental health where everything's at?
Yeah. I mean, it was hard at the beginning. There was definitely like a couple weeks, months where it was super stressful, but I think it was stressful for everyone. And then when we knew that the Olympics would be postponed to next year, it was kind of a relief for a couple of months, because then we knew like we would have more time to train. And because we missed all our qualifiers until May with the quarantines and COVID and everything. So it became really stressful until they postponed the Olympics. But now it's like we just have more time. That's how I see it. I'm like, it's free time to train.
Wow. Have you traveled since you last traveled when I saw you a few months ago?
I can't remember if I saw you after I went to Colorado.
I think it was
I went to Colorado.
Okay, you went to Colorado?
Yeah, so I didn't travel yet.
Was that for training camp or for competition?
No, it was just for to film. I went there for, it was like a road trip for RV company, so it was great. It was like more like marketing, but it was great. And then I came back, but like it's hard to travel because you have to quarantine for 2 weeks every time you travel. So I can't, like, I'm just gonna stay here and train, because 2 weeks, like, it's so long when you're stuck at home. And
Annie Guglia, meet Anthony Johnson and James McCocas. Hi guys, you made it back. We're happy to see you. So Annie's living in Montreal right now, where she's dealing with snow, and I know that I went for a bike ride today in Alberta. Has it been as nice up north? Or
it's so warm. We're shocked.
Yeah, we saw someone riding a road bike. We're like, what the heck is going on?
I know, it's amazing. I stole that bike ride in. So are you guys still exercising outside because of this weather?
Yeah, still running. I'm trying to do 10K in the morning and 10K at night. So it's like broken up a little bit.
So Annie, these
I have a knee injury.
These are not Olympians. They're just like these amazing guys that do 10K runs twice a day. You know, what the heck?
Sorry we didn't win the Olympics.
That's impressive.
That's amazing. It's just amazing. And Anthony, what about you? Are you loving running too?
I have a knee injury, so I'm working out in our gym a lot. And he makes fun of me. What's that guy's name? Tony what?
Tony Little.
He calls me Tony Little because we have like an as seen on TV tread climber. And sometimes I work out in a high pony. So I'm just like, come on, guys, like get it going.
It's cute because he does this thing with his
whip
hair,
it around.
like, flies around.
Yeah.
I love, I was really touched in week 8 by how much physical activity means to you both and how integral it's been to your relationship. And it's funny, this has all been about physical exercise, this entire series, but you that week really kind of embodied it and the importance of it maybe more than any other guests.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really empowering and really powerful. So as we so today I went down to go to the gym in my building, and there were already more than enough people there, so I wasn't allowed to work out there. So I pulled out my 3 mats and did my 45-minute exercise in my hallway like I did for March, April, May, and June. And it made me so depressed for a moment because it took me back there. I did remember that I used to exercise in my short and without my shorts on, just my underwear. So that was really fun just to kind of at least do something different than the gym. But it did make me think, like, how are you guys preparing for what's coming ahead? I mean, Annie, we know it's already cold and you've got a place to train, but Alberta right now, it sounds like we're going into some pretty scary times. Guys, are you there?
Oh, we thought you were talking to Annie.
No, sorry.
Well, I think we're kind of looking forward to winter or trying to be positive about staying here for winter because usually we go someplace warmer. But we do have this ice fishing tent that we have not used for the past 2 years. So we're really excited about that. There's like a heater. We have a power auger. To spend time with our family and our little nephew. Yeah. So we're going to do things like that.
I think that, going into a gym is a very like Western thing. It's a very like first world thing to go to the gym. In fact, in other countries, like a gym membership is a new thing. Like in China, a gym membership is a new thing within the last 10 years. And so even though we have a gym and we work out, we always go outside. And I think that it's so important for people in Alberta or everyone right now with COVID to get outside and to actually like get the fresh air, because there's something, my people, we have a teaching that at the first snow, you go roll in the snow because it activates your immune system. But there's also a relationship that our bodies have with the environment, with the air, with the cold temperature, with the sun, with the moisture in the air. And there's teachings behind that. And it's really important for people to get out and be in that. And that's something that we try to do, even if it's just a walk, if it's a jog, if it's a run or whatever. It's not only going to allow you to have your physical health, but it's going to help your mental and spiritual aspects as well. And so even though you can't go, pump 50 pounds or whatever, like whatever your normal routine is, going outside is a better alternative, especially now.
Yeah, and it's interesting for us too, because like for winter, we name the moons or the month after a season. So when like Mixupism is eagle moon in February, and that's when like the eagles are quite active and doing a particular thing, or there's like tree exploding moon. So like you go outside and you can hear the trees popping, and it's like, wow, like this is what is happening at this time in the natural life cycle, and it's cool to be a part of those things.
Amazing. You guys always inspire me so much. I love your perspective. Annie, you're outside. I mean, you must be outside as much as you can be.
Yeah, but I like what they just said, because it's like, it's true, going to the gym is one thing, but then like you can just, like there's free workout everywhere. Like you can just work out doing the groceries, just like do one trip and bring everything at once. That's what I like to do. But yeah, for now though, I actually try to. Because of quarantine, I made a gym at home, because I didn't have that before. I just like, for me, skateboarding was my workout before I started training for the Olympics. Like it was the only, or almost like one of the only things I did. So making a gym at home is like one of the things that I changed because of COVID, for sure.
So I went on that bike ride today. I totally feel that. Like you're so right. I exercise. You always feel good after exercise, but you don't feel that, spiritual breathing, the air, the lightness of watching the light on the leaves and the trees and the shadows. And, you're so right. We got to get outside more. I didn't get my snowshoes in early though. I know those are going to be totally sold out. Are you guys, do you snowshoe? You too? Robert and James? Anthony and James?
Yeah, Costco has them. Costco luckily has them for pretty cheap. So we go get those kind.
One of our friends just bought a house with a pond, and I'm like really looking forward to learning how to speed skate. Like I don't skate. I'm from Arizona. Like
just as long as you wear the tight bodysuit.
Yeah, I want to get like a hot bodysuit and just like speed skate and just like put it on Instagram.
I'm there.
Do you run in the winter too?
Yeah.
A lot, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you have to get gaiters for your shoes though. They're these like they're like rubber things that attach on your shins so your feet don't get soaked.
Or sometimes like the cleats for the bottom of your shoe.
Yeah, the ice cleats.
Yeah.
Wait, Annie, can I ask you a question?
I was going to ask.
Are you watching this show on HBO that's like about female skaters in New York?
Is it the Skate Kitchen one? It's called like what's it called? I know them. I know the girls in it, but I never watched it because I don't have HBO.
Oh, well, you can get it on Crave.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but there's this amazing show.
Something. Yeah, it's really good.
Let me look it up. It's so good. I want to ask you all the questions about it.
Is it following real life skaters through their?
Yeah.
It's called Betty.
It's a group of girls. Yeah, Betty. It's a group of girls. They're called Skate Kitchen. They're from New York, and I haven't seen the movie, but like I follow them. I know them, and it's like such a great story, and it's good that they're getting all the attention that they're getting because it's so inspiring for a lot of people.
Are they on the same track you are, Annie? Like, are they on the road to Tokyo? Or are they sort of past that and they're professional or?
No, it's more like the lifestyle aspect of it. It's more like street skating in New York and like making friends and the community aspect of it. I think I haven't seen it, but I'm guessing that's what they're showcasing.
Yeah, but the show's really cool also because it's actually about queer BIPOC like women in the skate world.
Exactly.
And so you get this really interesting view about a side of skating that most people think it's like Tony Hawk and like white dudes in California. And it's like women in New York who are of color, and it's amazing.
Exactly. That's the new aspect of skateboarding that we're seeing because skateboarding is getting all this attention. We're seeing like it's not just white teenage boys in California. It's like so much more than that. And now this is getting a lot of attention, and it's inspiring more people outside of like the skateboard norm to start skateboarding. So it's really great.
Which
I
kind
used
of
to ride a
speaks-
razor.
He's
I used to ride a razor, just in case you want to know.
He used to do like
Nice.
sidewalk grinds on his razor, like at the grocery
To
store.
university, like down the halls of the U of A. It's very
Yeah,
fast.
exactly.
I always had weak ankles.
Me too.
Really, Annie? Because yeah, so I can't skate. So you don't swim in Canada if you can skate. Come on, you're a hockey player. This is like Plan B.
No, I don't have weak ankles, but I actually like for skateboarders, ankles is like the worst injury. Well, the most common injury, and so like but now I'm like to the point where I roll my ankles all the time, and like I can keep skating after. It's just like
So this series was
so
really
strong.
when we started back in August, it was such a time because there was we were coming out of summer. People knew that the fall was going to be unknown. There was talk of this second wave, which has now come. But here we are, December. It looks like we're in for a good 6 more months before really things are going to change significantly and go back to some kind of normal. So how do you find joy in these times, guys, beyond the exercise? What else brings you joy and fulfillment?
Wanna go first?
Let us know when you find out.
I did this.
Is that knitting?
Yes.
Oh no. That
It's
doesn't
gonna
count,
be a
Daddy.
giraffe someday.
What
It's
is
gonna
it?
be a giraffe someday.
Cool.
Wow, I guess
To be honest, for me, I've been like really depressed lately, and it's been quite a challenge to like get out of that mindset because our life before COVID was so busy. Like there was a period in time where we weren't in our house for a month because we were traveling and going different places, and like, he was all about his newfound airline status. And so just like having everything shut down is just like, it makes me feel like there's no progression in my life. And what I've learned in the past few days, in the past, week or so, 2 weeks, even month, is like, you really have to focus on the small things that you can do. Like I took a shower today, like that's an accomplishment. Like I cleaned my kitchen, that's an accomplishment. And so many things that you overlook and take for granted as like not accomplishments before when you're so busy, you just have to do them. If you take the time to acknowledge and really like respect that you accomplished something and that there's still a building aspect of your life, I think you have to revel in those little things, because otherwise it can feel like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm seeing, a lot of my patients are, showing signs of COVID fatigue or anxiety or depression or like various aspects of those things. And it's really, I always encourage them to be gentle with themselves. And, these are extraordinary times. So like, don't expect that you're going to be at your best performance or whatever. And so, just reminding those things of like those simple things like Anthony was talking about can be quite huge for people. And to just, remember to express gratitude in whatever way that is for the person, I think is really important too.
100%. And Annie, it's interesting because hearing about not expecting potentially your best performance right now, be nice to yourself, and yet you've got to gear up for the performance of your life through all of this.
Yes. It's hard because I feel like it would be hard in normal times. So now having to deal with restrictions and stuff like that, I think it's harder, but I'm trying to focus on the things that I can control. Like I can't control a bunch of things right now in my life. So I'm really trying to, like, I started making plans. Like I don't usually plan my week on paper, but like I started doing that. So it helps me to focus on my priorities. And then and also like in my schedule, I actually schedule like off time and stuff like, like I'll really try to, because it's one of my priorities too, to be able to take time for myself and like read and do stuff like that. So it's been hard, but it's hard for everybody. So that's what I'm trying to remind myself. Like it's hard for me because I'm doing this like Olympic thing, but like it's hard for everyone who sometimes like lost their jobs or anything like. So.
I know. Yeah,
my girlfriend's a DJ. She lost her job back in March. Like it's hard for her too.
I do have to say, one of the things that I've really been looking forward to every week is we have these amazing friends that own this like vegan donut store, and they change their flavors every week. There's like 5 or 6 new different flavors, and every Wednesday I'm like, oh, what are the flavors going to be this week? And you know, we go and it's really important to support local businesses. And so we've been doing that, and we've got to know them really well. And I know a lot of people are struggling with that too. So we do our best to shop local and, you know, order out and safely, you know, get these products, because we don't want to see them closing down. So Frickin' Delights Donuts in Devon, amazing.
We just found a bathtub made in Montreal, so that's another small business we're going to support. Like a bathtub made in Canada with recycled materials.
Nice. You guys always keep it so real. I love it. I mean, you remind me that I love cooking 3 meals a day. I love going to the grocery store and seeing what's there. It's a smaller shop that I support that brings in different kind of produce, and and it's those little things. And if you start to not accept and love those things, there's not much left. So stake hard in that. Okay, we're gonna come back and do a bit of a fun game at the after this, but I'm just gonna quickly do, I think, a little wrap of the season. So I think that the producers have made a bit of a montage for us to watch, and I haven't seen it before. They wouldn't let me see it. So here we go. This is In Your Corner, 9 episodes leading to today, and let's roll it. Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Tewksbury. I'm proud to be your host of In Your Corner. We like to end the broadcast with our guests having one word that kind of summarizes the topic and the theme and your experience on the episode.
Opportunity.
Nice. I 100%. And for me, I think process, because you've embedded human rights into a process, which is how it's actually going to stick. Beyond amazing couple, I'm going to say winter beauty. You really inspired me.
I think that I would say friendship, because I feel like we're going to be friends. But also, I feel really excited because I think that as an Indigenous person, you could often feel isolated from the outside world.
I just have gratitude that we're able to talk about something that's really important to us, because physical activity is such a huge part of our life in terms of how we maintain balance and spirituality and connection with the outdoors.
I'm going to say courage. You know, having the courage to share your story, having the courage to be your true authentic self.
I was myself, and I had that instilled in me at a young age, and role models to look up to, that who I am as an athlete, I could be also as a person and be free. It set me to stay on a path where I was like not afraid to be myself, and that's all I keep telling people is I'm myself, and you
sure
can judge me as much as you want. But
I give you a big hug. I'm so touched. It almost made me cry there.
Thank you for inviting me, and also thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. And I would say grateful, because again, conversations like this are few and far between, and we often overlook them. And I just appreciate that we're having these conversations, especially in this year.
My word is empathetic, because I really helped take a step in both of your shoes, but also I made a mistake myself with language, and I think that we've all got to be a little bit forgiving.
Yeah, I think I'm feeling optimistic, you know. Hearing Allison's perspective, I think, really makes me proud as well to be a Canadian.
We have to be prepared to have these kinds of conversations, get uncomfortable, think outside the box, learn a lot, talk to one another, and imagine what the future could look like.
But I just feel like light and happy.
I love it. You're so thoughtful, Eric, by the way. I love how you're very thoughtful. I'm going to say inspired history.
Perseverance. As an athlete, especially as a trans person, you're going to face people that may not want you in that space, and it's not up to them to dictate where you can and can't be. You deserve a spot, and make your own spot.
Lastly, I want to just thank our guests for being with us today. Christina, Kevin, Chris, Jessica, what an honor to have you. It was just great to hear your different perspectives. It was really, truly, it was so easy to talk to you both and so uplifting.
Thanks, Mark. Really appreciate having me on.
So again, thanks, Allison. Thanks, Carlos. Great show. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon. I have a feeling, really soon.
Yeah.
Bye. See you later. Thanks, Annie and Anastasia.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Mark Tewksbury for Gals in your corner. Oh, that was really sweet. I know. Was that sweet, you guys? I know. Oh, you guys look so beautiful last time. I forgot how gorgeous your clothing was. And Annie, look at your hair. How much has that changed in 3 months?
That's COVID.
We were
You do it yourself.
we were going to
The
do
first time.
we were going to do a scavenger hunt, but I know Dennis is going to kill me. But I just feel like I'm not feeling it. Do you guys feel like running around and chasing stuff? I feel like more just ending with a bit more conversation. So about community and there's a couple of things I want to say. First of all, Annie, your episode, I can't believe how many times people say the word crazy or insane in a conversation and don't mean that word. They actually mean another word, but it just is the catch-all. And so I keep saying to people, use your words. And James, it was so funny when we were in the green room, you came on and said something was so crazy. And I was like, ding, ding. But it's such a great awareness thing, though. It's just something that's happened with our vernacular. And when you start to really pay attention to it, it's incredible how often you'll hear that. So from this season, Annie, that and your episode, that was one of the biggest takeaways for me. And for the two of you, friendship. I love that. I was wondering why you didn't get back to me so quickly, but you were moving, so you were completely forgiven. No, don't be sorry. So now you guys, because you're the final guest, you get to say, you can do it with one word, or you can even do a whole statement, whatever you'd like. I'm going to give you each the floor for one final comment. So let's go ladies first. Let's go with you, Annie.
Ooh, wow, I don't know how to end this. I was not prepared for this.
Okay, you know what? Sure. I'll give you a pass because I know Anthony always has something to say. So Anthony, go ahead.
He does.
I'll say two things to give you more time to talk. I just wanted to touch quickly back on the point about how to maintain sanity during COVID. I think Annie's, like how she showed us, she made something. I think it's so important for people to create visual movement in their life. Like if you think about the movie Castaway, he like makes a little tick mark for each day. Like it's important that you have that physical change so that you don't go crazy in the way that we mean the word crazy, right? Because if you have that process where you're building something, you could like see it. Like for us, moving right now is something that allows me to see that the world's changing, right? Otherwise, I'd just be static. So I just want to point that out. And then I would say that, you know, my word, or just even from that little montage that we just had, I think transformation and hope are two themes that I got from this season. And I think that's something that I want to bring into my life. And it's also something that I want to share with other people. You know, when COVID started, James and I, you know, we were ceremonial people, and our first question is, what is this here to teach us? And there's been so many times where we've seen things that weren't serving us go away. It allowed us to like look and reflect upon that, which is really important to us. And I think that if everyone, like, you know, the earth is healing itself in a way. And unfortunately, it involves some unpleasant things. But people in India for the first time saw the sky. Like they saw the Himalaya mountains because traffic shut down. Like we're actually acknowledging essential workers as human beings who are doing a valuable service. Like that's something that had never happened before. And so if we can just take on that transformation and that hope, like if we can bring out of COVID some of the things that it's taught us, like the world could actually be a fundamentally different place. And like, what would that look like for you? And what does that look like in your heart to take on transformation and hope for the things that you want to bring about in the world.
Beautifully said, as always. And I knew I could trust you. See, look at you. Oh, I don't know. I can't say anything. Boo. Okay, Annie, let's go over to you.
Well, I'm gonna like bounce on what you said, because it's I think interest. Like now we kind of like we were forced to have more time to think and like introspect. And one of the things that came out for me is I realized I'm way more introverted than I thought I was. Like I realized during quarantine that I love spending time by myself, and like I got back with like reading a lot, and like a lot of things that I thought I never had time for because I had to do so many other things. And yeah, so I just think going back to like prioritizing and doing things that you love, as simple as they are, like as simple as they can be. I don't know how to say it, but like sometimes it's such small things. Like sometimes for me, it's just like I'm gonna cuddle with my dog for like a minute, and then I feel so much better, you know.
Totally.
Yeah, find happiness in the small things.
And James, I laughed about the airline miles thing because I was so pathetic. I would like go check to see how close I was to making my next. Like, really? Like, what kind of life is that? Right now that it's gone, I see how totally ridiculous that was in a way. So, but
he's like, excuse me, I'm a platinum. I'm a platinum. Where's my free Coke?
I think
you can be. So, James, final words from you.
Yeah, thank you. So, you know, I think a lot of the things that I've been thinking about is just being very grateful for the freedom that we have as, you know, in this part of the world, as a person, as a human being. And I do think about, you know, not that it's the same situation, but like how it must have been for people who were, you know, came from an area of the world where there was war or conflict, where their personal freedoms were very limited. Or like even my own father, who went to residential school, and like his parents, my grandparents who went there, who lived under way worse conditions for years and years of their whole life. So the fact that it's been 9 months is not a big thing in the scope of things. And so much like what Anthony was saying, we asked ourselves, like, what are we here to learn from this? And, you know, people have really slowed down. It's given even, you know, the government, the different parties in government, to come to some priorities about having equity in childcare for families, about having equity in pharmaceutical care for people, so that they can have a good quality of life. And I hope that those are some of the lessons that we learn, like when we think about climate change, the fact that it's really warm right now in December, like this has been a chance for the earth to heal. And as we move forward, if we don't want this to happen again, and I think these are the conversations that aren't happening in the media. It's always about washing your hands and staying 6 feet apart. But like, what are we actually learning from this global human experience and time that we've never experienced before? And I think those are the conversations that I'd like to hear about. How is it affecting other people? And how are they changing? How is it changing them for the better? So I think, yeah, that's what I think about.
I hope once we get past this more reactionary, traumatized phase, that the insight starts to come, to your point, James. And what did we learn from this, and how are we really going to do things differently? So for this portion, I'm going to say perspective and insight, as usual, from all three of you. And you're my last guest, so thank you for being part of this. It was amazing. Annie, I wish I was supposed to be in Tokyo as part of the Olympic Committee board, but we will not be going, of course, because it's just about the safety of getting our athletes there and performing. But I will be cheering from Canada and watching your journey. All the best. And James and Anthony, I will be seeing you in Calgary, or I'll be coming up to you sooner than later, because I really would love to see you in real life. It was a pleasure to meet you virtually.
Yes, you too.
Congratulations on your huge honor. That's so exciting.
Thank
and
you.
Eat
Thank
lots
you.
of ramen when you go to Tokyo.
Annie, that's to you.
Yeah.
Great. See you both. See you guys. Thank you. Bye. So just before I do the wrap, This show never has happened on its own. These great guests don't just appear out of nowhere. And the reason I said at the beginning, I did the first show and I had such a good experience. It was really working with these two young gentlemen behind the scenes that are the team behind the success here. I want them to come on. They're like, no, we're behind the scenes. But of course, they're going to do a final hello to everybody. Please bring out Jonathan Caffarelli and Dennis Kaisnell. Come on out, you guys.
Hi. Hello. Hey, Mark. Hey, everybody.
I'm not going to make you do the scavenger hunt either. I'm sorry.
Is that the plan? Is that what we should do?
I was just feeling it. I was feeling the convo. So I just wanted to keep going with it. But you both, thank you for this. I want you to just briefly introduce each other because I want you to feel, shine the light on each other. So Dennis, start by introducing Jonathan a little bit.
This is Jonathan. Jonathan is the digital marketing coordinator at EGAL, and he joined us within the last year and has been an incredibly important part of not just this project, but of other projects that we had. And I'm so grateful to have him helping and supporting this project and really leading the tech side of things. And this could not be possible without Jonathan. So thank you.
Yay, Jonathan!
And this is Dennis Canal. He is the Sports Inclusion Officer at EGAL. So thank you so much, Dennis, for leading this program. It's been wonderful to work on. So thank you. And to Mark as well for being the best host. So thank you so much.
Dennis, I've never said your name out loud. You don't pronounce the S. That's so cute. That's
they get it wrong all the time. Yeah, no worries.
I just followed everybody else. Way to go.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, so listen, I saved a word for you guys, or I saved an idea to do it here. So the last one I have, but I have another one for you too. But who wants to go first? Your one-word summary. So this was Dennis's brainchild, I believe. And what a beautiful montage you did, Jonathan. That was so great to see all the one words. Yeah.
Jonathan, you can go first.
Okay. My word is community. And I chose that because I don't have a sports background, but through working on a project like this and kind of immersing myself in the sport world, I've seen how it can be an action for community. So that would be my one word.
Awesome. And Dennis?
Well, like following in the footsteps of some other guests, I do have two words. The first is appreciation mixed with, of course, gratitude of not just to you, Mark, and to the whole EGAL team, but to all the guests that we've had. Like you said, this doesn't just happen. And we've had fantastic guests for the past 6 months, starting this project in August. And the second word is growth. And I think recognizing the growth that we've done on this series, but the growth that still is yet to come. And especially with COVID happening, there's so much that we've learned about the world and about ourselves. And I think we need to lean into discomfort, lean into that growth. What are the things that we're doubting right now? And what role do we play individually in making this world a better place? And it's been an honor to help lead this project and to have everyone a part of it. So thank you, Mark.
Oh, my pleasure. And my two words are a cumulative effect, because I was struck by how much we did in 10 episodes and how many people we saw and how many topics we did and how much I learned and grew from it. I'm so grateful that you two were part of that first episode. And then we're like, let's do all 10. We can't break up this team.
Yeah.
So thank you guys.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Love you guys. Okay. Okay, so I can't believe it, but if you want to check out past episodes, there's some really great, interesting topics. Go to egal.ca/inyourcorner. Huge thank you again to James and to Annie and to Anthony. And lastly, a huge thank you to everybody who's watched the episodes. We wouldn't do this without an audience. And as we wrap the series and begin to think about transitioning into a new year, I'd like to encourage everyone at home to continue to reflect on what sport inclusion means to you, how to keep your mental health. I thought it was a really excellent conversation today about the challenges and finding beauty in the simple things. Remember, I'm always in your corner, Mark Tewksbury, as your host. And remember, EGAL, and thank you to the United Way of Calgary as well. We'll always have a spot for you in our corner. We're signing out. Good night.